Well, hi everybody, I'm Vicki and welcome back to my kitchen. And tonight we're doing a cook-along. And you have the ingredients in your post or in the description in order to get all the ingredients together and cook along with me. And this is our meaty pizza roll. Now let me know how you do in the post. In my description or in my post, it tells you to make a list of all of your favorite pizza toppings. Anything except for pineapple. Please don't put pineapple in this. But you can put jalapenos in it, you can put bacon, you can put, I'm choosing to put pepperoni and ham, mozzarella cheese, a little Parmesan cheese, some black olives, some sun-dried tomatoes, and this is our 2.5 pounds of hamburger from the butcher shop in Lakeland. It's our local butcher shop, and I love it. But this is regular hamburger. You can use ground chuck; it's going to be drier. And then I've got, takes about 1.5 pounds of bacon, so I just get 2 pounds of bacon. And I like mushrooms, but let me tell you what I've done. I did it on the first one. I made a mushroom puree in our cooking blender, and you can do it by sauteing and using the immersion blender to blend up to emulsify the mushrooms. But in our cooking blender, I put 4 cups of baby portobellos. You can use large portobellos if you want. You can use regular mushrooms, white mushrooms if you want. And 2 tablespoons of whipping cream, 2 tablespoons of chicken broth, 2 cloves of garlic, and salt and pepper to taste. And that makes and then I use the heated puree setting so that it actually makes a paste, a puree from the mushrooms and garlic. And I did put some green onions in there with it too. I want that flavorful, and I want that as a base to create some moisture in the meaty pizza roll-up. So as we're baking, this will bake right into that hamburger. Looks kind of nasty, but tastes pretty good. You can imagine, this is mushrooms. But if you don't like mushrooms, skip that step. Okay, as we go along, I'm going to tell you to stop the video and catch up, get to a certain point. So at this point, I want you to stop the video and get all of your ingredients out and together. Okay, so I have 2.5 pounds of hamburger. And what I'm going to do, you might want to take it out for about 20 or 30 minutes and let the chill get off of it. It's easier to work with. I don't want to overwork the hamburger. Have you ever had hamburger and it's tough? It's usually because somebody did too much stuff to it. All right, I've got my parchment paper down. And what I'm gonna do is just take little bits of hamburger and lay it out. Kind of like in a rectangle. This is actually kind of the crust of our pizza. And I'm going to get another piece of parchment. Well, yeah, go ahead and do this. So my hands aren't messy. So we're just going to mash it. Just mash it. Can you see me? You want to mash it till it's about I'd say 1/2 inch thick. Now, I like, you can just keep mashing it like that, but I like to take my rolling pin, like dough. Take my rolling pin, and I get a more even layer when I use the rolling pin. Like I said, rolling pin does give you a more even layer. And that's what you want. Now I'm going to take this off, shape it a little bit more, and then I'll go with the rolling pin again. Can't seem to get things out of the way. Okay, what I'm going to do is form it into a rectangle. See it coming together? It's a rectangle. It's hard to see the whole thing. It's a big rectangle. Just gonna put it. Alright, I have a big rectangle. A lot of hamburger, isn't it? Okay, let's rinse my hands off. So we are going to add the toppings. And the first thing I'm going to add it's time to kick these shoes off. It's been a long day, and I'm ready for barefoot. All right. First thing I'm gonna do is put my mushroom puree, and I'm just gonna lay it over. Now, you can put your mushroom puree in the refrigerator and let it thicken up if you want to. If you want a thicker layer. So I've got our mushroom puree, and I'm just going to put the cheese on top of that. Kind of sets it into the meat. Okay, let's come back with some parm on top of that. of messy on my hands. No, I don't ever mind messy. Alright, we're going to put some black olives. Do you like black olives? We should put in your post what's on yours. What are your favorite ingredients? Now, if you just want mushrooms, you can put mushrooms down there and don't put the mushroom puree. Okay, so we've got black olives, and let's put a little bit of ham at this point. I just diced up a piece of ham. You know you can put chicken on it too. It'd be really good. A little bit more ham. Just go to the edges. And we're going to seal the edges in with the bacon. Alright, let's go with a little sun-dried tomatoes. Do you like sun-dried tomatoes? Now, I get the sun-dried tomatoes that are in oil. To me, they're a lot better. Okay, let's go with our pepperoni. How can you have pizza without pepperoni? I love pepperoni. So we're just gonna layer our pepperoni on just like you would a great big pizza. Now, this would probably be good in a pizza pan, just cooked and not rolling it up. But for today, we're doing a roll up. We're gonna do a pizza roll. If you want to do something special for game day or for dad, or your keto la carte, and can't have the pizza crust and don't like cauliflower crust, this is kind of cool. I'll show you a little trick to it. I like to make it and then cut it and then stick it in a frying pan and brown it on either side. A lot of times, this is real easy to make ahead of time. I'm going to leave a few pepperoni because I want some for the top. The one that you saw me post, the one I did in the middle of the night the other night, and everybody wanted to know where the video was, it didn't have pepperoni on the top, but I want pepperoni on the top of this. So I'm going to save some pepperoni. And I'm going to put a little more cheese. First is mozzarella, this is Parmesan, a little bit more Parmesan. Now I've got some more mozzarella that's going to go on the top of it. I'm not using all of it. Now, I'll show you the cool way to roll it. What I do is I grab my parchment paper and I do a tuck and I bring the parchment paper around tight and roll. And I keep pushing the ingredients back up under instead of letting them smush out. Bring your parchment paper up and roll it into it. See how it's rolling? And all the ingredients are tucking in. Roll. Don't try to pick it up. Just roll it. Roll. Last roll, here we go, come on. And now I just like to tuck it and roll. squish it. Make sure it's good and firm. And if you've got any cracks, just pinch them. And we're going to tuck the hamburger around on the edges. Anything spills out, just tuck it in. Tuck it in. Bring the hamburger around. Our log, our hamburger log. So that's the seam right there. I want to close that good. And roll, and roll, and roll. And I like to go take that and put it in the refrigerator for about 10 minutes. My log is all together and I'm putting it in the refrigerator for 10 minutes. So turn off the video and go put the log in the refrigerator. Now, before you turn the video back on, I want you to get the bacon out and ready, because we're going to start wrapping our log in our bacon. So turn it off now, stick it in the refrigerator. So I'm going to assume that you let your meat rest about 10 or 15 minutes. You can let it rest longer than that if you want to. And we're going to start preparing it. But I want to season the outside of the hamburger. So I am going to use a little garlic and herb, and I'm going to use some 3 onion, and I'm just going to put it on the outside, because the inside's got all of those good seasonings in there. And there again, I just used the parchment paper to turn it. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, if you're not using something like the mushroom puree for a little bit of moisture on the inside, put you some chunky salsa, just spread it around on the inside. We're going to use it on the outside of this one, and like I said, I used the mushroom puree, which is what I wanted. Now, we are just going to pull the bacon out, and I'm going to start on the ends. 2 pieces, cut in half. You know, it should be illegal the way this smells when it's cooking. And you may need to use 3 pieces. I think I may need to use 3 pieces on this one, because I want to seal the end really well. Don't need but 2 pieces on this side. I think I'm going to have to use half a piece, another half a piece on that side. The reason I want the ends sealed well is I don't want any of that cheese coming out. I want it sealed into the hamburger. Okay, so we're just going to take the bacon 1 piece at a time, and we're just going to use whole pieces because we're going to tuck it under. Place halfway. And be sure and overlap it. Not a lot, not heavy overlap, but you do want to overlap it because you want to seal it. So we are going to do kind of a half roll and tuck it under the bottom. Now, I like cooking this on cast iron. Our cast iron sizzle skillet is absolutely perfect for it. But if you don't have that, you can do it in on a roasting pan, or you can put it directly on your grill. Now, the first one that I did that I posted pictures of, I started in the kitchen, and when it was halfway through, when I put the cheese on it, I put it on the grill and let it smoke and finish on the grill. And that's what we're going to do with this one again. So that turned out really amazing. Okay, can you see the bacon? So I'm just going to do a little bit of roll with our parchment paper and tuck it under. Look at how pretty it tucks under. Just remember, use the parchment paper to roll things. And then let's roll to the other side and tuck it under. Got an area that's not sealed, so I'm just going to put another piece. Okay. So here we go. We have our log. It's all sealed. I like to squish it in a little bit. Squish, squish, squish. And you can kind of shape it at this point. Bacon right there. That's going to be under the bottom. You're not going to see it, but it's sealing it. Let's roll, roll, roll. Okay, shape it good. Get it where it's consistently the same size. And the more you kind of pat on the bacon, the more it kind of comes together and creates a shell. Can you see what I'm doing? Mashing it in the center, and the sides, because you want it the same size. Now, I like to use the thick and chunky salsa. This has got onions and all kind of good stuff. Peppers, mushrooms, not mushrooms, tomatoes. And we're just going to, and it'll hold on the center, on the top. Hope, you better not even think about it. Y'all, I have a little company in here today. Of course, Hope's here. And Zoe. Himmy, you want to come over here, baby? Y'all want to see my house guest? Okay. Look. Let's see how I've loaded it up across the top. And we're just going to let this bake for 30 minutes on 350. Now, hit the button, and while you're waiting, I want you to grate about 2 cups of Parmesan cheese, or 3 cups, however much you want. So we're going to do the top. When we get this 30 minutes done, we're going to take it out and we're going to look at it. So hit the button, put it in the oven for 30 minutes or on the grill for 30 minutes. Now we're going to do the grill 30 minutes, the second part of half of this. So see you in a little bit. So okay, we're back and the bacon is starting to dry up and cook, but in the tomato sauce, the tomato salsa is starting to dry out just a little bit. But what I want to do right now is take the grease off. So I'm just going to dab paper towels in and then just wipe the grease out. And then I'm going to put it back in the oven for another 20 minutes. Minutes, take it out, take the grease off of it, put it back in for another 20 minutes, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Turn it off now. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put the cheese on. I'm just going to load it up. Because I want it to drizzle down the side. Make a pretty presentation. Okay. Got our cheese on. Now we're going to put it back in the oven. Since I'm going to go put it on the grill, which is disappointing me. But put it back in the oven for 30 minutes. Take it out and see what it looks like. All right. So in the oven it will go for the next 30 minutes. Turn your video off. So look what we have. We have our meaty pizza roll. Okay. Now, I'll put it on a dish and cut into it and show you how I serve it later. Let me know if you make it and if you make any changes or what toppings you use. And come back to see me often. Remember, give someone your beautiful smile. Heals your heart, makes you feel good inside. And you know what? You just could make somebody's day. Remember, everything you've seen me using is Pampered Chef. And there's a link in my description or on my Facebook post. So come back to see me soon. Don't forget to subscribe and like my channel. Bye, y'all.